Hey everyone, my maths walkthrough for this week. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's lesson on area and volume scale factors. This homework isn't that tricky, I got to be honest. So let's quickly go through it. So here's my one that I've printed off. Your numbers will be different. The first thing we've got to do is work out the new areas on these similar shapes here. So obviously we'll work out the linear scale factors first, and then we'll have to square that to make it an area factor, and then use that then to get the new area. So if you look at number one, the linear scale factor has gone from 3 to 12. So I'm sure you'd agree that's a multiply by 4. So a linear scale factor of 4. The area factor then would be 4 squared, which is 16. So to get this new area, I will do 8 times 16. All right, and it's a bit early on a Monday morning to do that in my head. So that's 128. If we look at this one here, this time the linear scale factor again is times by 4. Right, 6 times 4 will give you 24. So the linear factor is times by 4. So again, the area factor is 16 because that's 4 squared. So I've got to think, right, well, I'm working backwards here now. So to get this area, I'll do 240 divided by 16, which comes out as 50. This last one here, let's work out the linear scale factor. Now, if you can't do that in your head, you do the biggest divided by the smallest. So 4.5 divided by 3, the linear scale factor is 1.5. So the area scale factor would be 1.5 squared, which I think is 2.25. It is. So to get this new area, I do 40 times 2.25, which is 90. Okay, so hopefully no problems there. Right, on to part 2 of the first homework. So this time they give us the corresponding areas of the similar shapes. So we'll be able to work out the area factor. We'll then square root that to get the linear factor, and then we can work out the new sides, okay? So if you look here, right, the scale factor there going from 8 to 72 is times in by 9, right? So the area factor is 9. So the linear scale factor is the square root of 9, make sure I'm on camera, which is 3, right? So each side is 3 times bigger. So this here will be 2 times by the linear scale factor 3, which is 6. If we look at this one here, how did I get from 9 to 144? 144 divided by 9 is 16, right? So the area factor is 16. So the linear scale factor is the square root of 16, which is 4. So whatever was in here, I times it by 4 to get to 16. So that answer is 4. I hope that makes sense to you. Excuse me. And then the final one, to work out the area factor here, do 56.25 divided by 25. Which is 2.25. That's coincidental. We used that in question 1. So if the area factor is 2.25, the linear scale factor will be the square root of that, which is 1.5. Okay? So if this is 2, this here is 2 times 1.5, which is 3. Right, cool. No problems there. Let the calculator do all the work for you. Let's have a look at the next one. Then the next one is volume scale factors. So obviously where we squared it to get the area, we have to cube it to get the volume. It's the same process, right? You just cube in and cube root in instead of squaring or square rooting. So we've got 2 cereal boxes. They are similar. There's the key word. When you see that in your exam, you have to think, right, I'm going into this kind of question. The smaller one weighs 500 grams. Work out the weight of the larger box, right? Now, of course, we assume they have the same density. So the weight is related to volume. So this is a volume factor question, right? So I've got 2 linear dimensions of 64 and 40. So the first thing I need to do is work out the linear scale factor. So I'm going to do 64 divided by 40, and that gives me 1.6, right? So the linear scale factor is 1.6. So the volume scale factor is 1.6 cubed. I'll do that on the calculator. 1.6 cubed is 4.096. That's the volume scale factor, right? So if they've given me the weight of the smaller box, I need to multiply that by the volume scale factor to get the weight of the bigger box. And it's 2048. You can double check that, okay? Similar question here now on the right. 2 cups similar in shape. This time the larger one, they give us the larger volume, can hold 3 liters. How much can the smaller one hold? So here's our 2 linear dimensions, 40 and 20. That's easy, right? So we know that the linear scale factor is times by 2. So the volume scale factor will be 2 cubed, which is 8. Okay? So if the larger one holds 3 liters, the smaller one will hold 3 divided by 8, which is 0.375, and they want it to the nearest whole number of milliliters, right? So that's 0.375 liters, which is 375 milliliters, because of course there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. Right, let's have a look at the last ones, and then we're done. The shapes are similar, the volumes are given, and one length. For each question, find the other length. Right, so like we did on the area ones, this time we're going to work out the volume factor. Then we're going to cube root it to get the linear scale factor, right? So look at these numbers here. I'm going to divide these to get the volume scale factor. So the volume scale factor is 756 divided by 28, which is 27. That is not a coincidence that it is a cube number. So the linear scale factor is the cube root of 27, which I'm sure you all know is 3. So if this one is 7.8 centimeters high, this one is 3 times higher. So 7.8 times 3, that's 23.4. That's not that difficult. And then this last one, here's my 2 volumes. So I'm going to divide them to get the volume scale factor, right? So the volume scale factor is 500 divided by 450, which is 1.1 recurring. So the linear scale factor is the cube root of 1.1 recurring, which is 1.036. I've rounded it there. Oop, I'm off camera. Apologies. 1.036, right? So to get this smaller side, I'm going to take 17 and divide it by 1.036. 17 divided by 1.036, and it comes out as 16.4 centimeters, right? Does it ask for 1 decimal place? It does. Okay, very good. So nothing too tricky there, just a bit of squaring, cubing, square rooting, and cube rooting. Make sure you get a green on that, please. There's also some optional extension work set today on Corbett. There's some tougher questions if you fancy a go at that. And then the usual manga task on Thursday, right? Okay, thanks for engaging, everyone. Hope you all did the quiz as well yesterday and got a good score on that. And I will look forward to seeing you soon. If I can just suss out how to turn off this video. Take it easy. Bye-bye.